We are all makers of history. Institutions can never be far beyond or below the people among whom they are established. Institutions always reflect the ideas and ideals of the people. This school has adhered to the faith of its founders. It has influenced for good the lives of thousands of young men and women. It has enriched and ennobled the lives of its multitude of graduates and given culture and intellectual vision to innumerable students.
Those were the words of Carrie Henry Payne, the first teacher of the Sanpete Stake Academy, 43 years later, reflecting on the humble beginnings of a community school that would one day become Snow College. The current view of campus is one of a vibrant, thriving college. But the years between our founding in 1888 and now were filled with the collective grit, sacrifice, and endurance of the students, staff, faculty, and entire community. Let's review some of the most impactful moments along the way. This is the site of the first classroom in Ephraim. The community, mostly Danish immigrants, desired educational opportunities for their families, and so began the Sanpete Stake Academy. The second floor of the local co-op served 120 students aged 11 to 33, who were instructed in the courses of theology, reading, orthography, physiology, U.S. history, grammar, composition, arithmetic, geography, penmanship, bookkeeping, ladies' work, and Danish drawing.
It aims to provide means for proper mental and physical training, which together with moral and spiritual development make up an ideal character. The idea is to promote educational interests generally.
In 1898, a fundraising effort began for the construction of a new academy building. Many residents set aside the eggs their hens laid on Sundays and sold them to help raise the substantial cost of construction. These Sunday eggs, along with many other sacrifices of funds, labor, and materials, culminated in the 1909 dedication of what would be later named the Noyes Building, named after Newton E. Noyes, who served as principal for 29 years.
Most everyone had cows and donated milk for cheese making. Everyone had sheep and contributed wool for quilt making. Quilts, cloth, carpet, socks, soap, sugar, etc. were donated. Workmen were glad to get these products as part payment for their labor.
It is an icon for all that Snow stands for: a love of learning, a willingness to sacrifice for education, a dedication to high personal standards, a chance to realize the hope for a better life.
In the year 1900, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints appropriated $2,000 for the school, and Academy leaders then sought to change the name to honor President Lorenzo Snow. He agreed with a twist, indicating that
he does not feel that he can permit his name, as suggested, be given to it, but is willing that it be called Snow Academy, and thus divide the honor between his deceased friend and brother Erastus and himself, and hopes that will meet your mind and that of your board.
Progress wasn't linear and wasn't easy. Snow College faced multiple challenges, many of them financial. A beloved piano had to be sold for $600 to keep teachers on salary. Construction on campus buildings was interrupted again and again when funds were short. One year, a budget shortfall necessitated that the entire faculty and staff had to work for free. Though threats of closure loomed, the resiliency and determination of students, faculty, and staff never wavered. Progress may have faltered at times, but it never stopped. In 1911, a gymnasium was constructed, featuring modern showers, dressing rooms, and a racetrack encircling the upper area of the gym. Physical education classes were a popular activity. 1920 marked the first year of a football program. Legend has it that the football team suggested they be called the Badgers. which later became the mascot for the whole school. 1928 saw the purchase and development of the Badger Plot, a tract of land adjacent to campus that housed a cow pasture, cheekily referred to as the cow dormitories. Track meets and football games were held here. The late 1920s brought a period of uncertainty for Snow College. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had begun closing its junior college academies. The people of Sanpete County did not want to lose their school and lobbied for it to be transferred to the state of Utah instead. Volunteer groups were organized to save both Weber and Snow College, which were set to close at the end of the school year. Against severe opposition, legislation to preserve the two schools passed in the House, barely passed the Senate, and was signed by a reluctant governor. Since July 1, 1932, Snow College has been a public institution. Snow College was able to expand both its educational offering and local rural impact in 1998 when it acquired the Sevier Valley Applied Technology Center in Richfield, Utah. The campus in Richfield boasts a large event center and trains students in practical fields of study as well as general education. This addition has allowed more students to experience Snow College and achieve their educational goals. Consider the changes that have occurred since 120 students met upstairs in a room with only a canvas curtain as a divider, to the now large and vibrant campus enjoyed by thousands of students. Think of the lives that have been enriched, the memories created, the cultural edification gained. It took thousands of people and millions of decisions, but one constant: the spirit of snow that is the same today as it was in 1888. Snow College is still the cultural center of this rural community. We are continuing the community-based educational legacy in ways that could not have been foreseen when 120 students gathered on the second story of a building on Main Street. We continue to expand our offerings as the needs of the community change. We are excited to now offer select 4-year degree programs and meet other needs in our service region. Who we are now is because of where we came from. We honor the sacrifices that contributed to the educational, social, athletic, and cultural output of Snow College that we all enjoy today. The founders were motivated by a desire to provide an education and a better life for others, not just for themselves. They were unaware that one day students from all over Utah, as well as all 50 states and countries abroad, would find their way to central Utah in search of an education. These founders had planned far better than they realized. It has been said that those who find Snow College find themselves. There is perhaps no greater tribute to the founders of this institution. Each and every donor, laborer, or leader who has contributed to Snow's establishment than for students to walk these esteemed halls and find themselves.
Let us preserve the ideals of the founders of this school, and to see that nothing shall break down the foremost purpose of this institution. May the star of destiny, which has pointed the way to the fulfillment of the ideals for which our pioneer educators visioned and toiled, still lead you on. May you continue to overcome the obstacles which lie in your path, to ascend the heights which lead to perfection, and thereby receive the honor which you justly merit.